In northern Kenya, a landmark collaboration is attempting to assist one of the world's most endangered creatures.
1, 2, 3, go!
We are saving a species.
There are so few animals left. Every single one is important.
So we must have a chance to bring them home again.
For the first time in a generation, the black rhino will return to northern Kenya. But capturing one of the world's most dangerous animals is not without its challenges.
Anything you don't want them to go near, they head direct for.
Okay, be ready to run.
It's another busy week in Kenya. Lewa Conservancy is dedicated to preserving and protecting Africa's wildlife. They've been successfully managing breeding programs to increase the population of the critically endangered black rhino, a species that for decades has been the target of poachers. They've been so successful that they now want to move some of the rhino to a new location. The plan is to translocate 10 of Lewa's black rhino to the Sera Wildlife Conservancy, 4 hours north of Lewa. Flying over the remote wilderness of northern Kenya, Lewa founder and director of the Northern Rangelands Trust, Ian Craig, is looking forward to the start of his lifelong passion project.
Kenya's breeding rhino really successfully. We're breeding 30 to 40 rhino every year that need new homes, and nobody's planning for it. So we're really in a catch-22 here of where do we put rhino and where do we plan for rhino into the future.
The area was once great rhino habitat, but relentless poaching in the 1970s and 80s wiped them completely out. Translocating animals isn't new. What makes this special is that Sera is a community conservation area. It is run and managed by the local community.
Sera sits right on the boundary of a whole bunch of tribal areas. There's complete ownership by those communities. It's obviously incredibly exciting for those that have been involved in it.
It's a massive project, spearheaded by Lewa's sister organization, the Northern Rangelands Trust, an organization that is working with rural communities in northern Kenya to promote peace and the protection of wildlife.
My name's Ian Craig. I'm the Director of Conservation for the Northern Rangelands Trust. We've been working on this project for the last 5 years. We planted the seeds amongst the communities that this is what NRT was ready to support. And we went through the whole environmental process, and it narrowed it down to one location that was suitable and the community wanted.
The community at Sera is made up of the Samburu tribe, a semi-nomadic pastoralist culture that have lived in the region for several hundred years. They are dependent on their livestock. The coexistence of cows and rhinos is vital to making this project work. For a pastoralist tribe that places wealth in cattle, to fence key grazing land is a serious commitment.
You know, it's a big deal for a community to fence off 107 square kilometers of grazing land. And now I would say that there's complete respect and recognition and acceptance. So guys are trained, fences ready, roads are ready, water's ready, everything is basically in place for the rhino sanctuary.
A community conservancy is exactly what it sounds like. Although several organizations provide support, decision-making is in the hands of the local council.
Black rhino conservation, which is probably some of the most complicated, complex, and most involved, expensive and time-consuming conservation work that you can be involved in. Here we are with communities now actually starting to take this on and demonstrating they have the will, the passion and the wherewithal to do this.
The Samburu are working hard to get ready. They're anticipating the arrival of the rhino as well as the economic benefits that will come from tourism as a result of having rhino.
You know, as now you know, we are introducing a black rhino to Sarah. Everyone now knows the importance of this rhino to here.
It's perfect rhino habitat. Historically, 30, 40 years ago, that area probably had the highest densities and the highest concentrations of black rhino anywhere in the country. And to introduce them back into that area, it's a reintroduction, if you will, a repopulation.
So we have to find all our techniques to make sure the whole community accepts it.
The community around, the Borana, the Rendile, the Samburu, come together to give animals peace, people also peace, and many of them get money from this rhino. This is removing people from poverty to a better life.
It is the community's hope that by protecting habitat for rhino, it will allow for the rebounding of other species. And today, members of the local community are applying to become a big part of that life. And who better to protect rhinos than traditional Samburu warriors? Although the Samburu are pastoralists, the males come from a warrior tradition and are fiercely protective of their herds. To be chosen for this work is an immense honor and will be life-changing. They will have a secure job and a career, but it does come with risks. Although protected by a worldwide ban, rhino horn is valuable on the black market. And because of that, poachers will kill for it.
Clearly, it's a critically endangered species. There are only 640 left in the country. There are only 4,000 black rhino left in the world.
My worries, of course, is poaching. You know, somebody will try and kill these rhino for sure.
We have noticed an increase in poaching incidences. We are very happy that Sarah Conservancy are providing secure space for rhinos.
I think the security will be good.
And to help provide that security, the community is looking for the fittest individuals. Being Kenya, a running nation, a 10K race serves as the first cut. With the run finished, the top 30 are invited to apply to become local rangers. What begins as a job interview quickly turns into a training session. The selection is carried out by the region's elite anti-poaching team called 9-1.
Go! Come on!
The running was no problem, but this is a bit of a culture shock.
Keep it going! Come on, let's go!
These guys aren't used to doing push-ups.
All the way up, number 5!
To face the kind of challenges that modern wildlife conservation requires, the successful recruits will be trained to military standards.
Keep it going!
Once trained, these local rangers will conduct unarmed patrols. The team will provide general security. Should a conflict arise where armed engagement is needed, a specially trained rapid response team that is in the region will respond.
The core element for starting this 9-1 team is to bring security among these three communities. Before these communities had a conflict with each other, this Samburu and Borana, and this team, each and every ranger, act as an ambassador to his community, so as to mobilize the community on peace.
As the Sera community works to prepare for the arrival of the 10 rhino, back at Lewa, the hopes for the project are high.
So Lewa's at the center of this project to reintroduce rhino into Sera Community Conservancy, because really Lewa was the birthplace of Northern Rangelands Trust and the birthplace of community conservancies in Kenya.
The Craigs are one of the founding families of the Lewa Wildlife Conservancy. At Sera, the story is coming full circle. Ian witnessed the capture of the last rhino in the northern rangeland areas around Sera over 30 years ago.
Last time I saw rhino in northern Kenya, 1983, and we caught that.
Those animals provided the nucleus for Lewa's Black Rhino program. And now it's the descendants of those rhinos that will make their way back home. And the Craig family's descendants are involved as well. Ian's son, Batien, an experienced wildlife capture expert, will coordinate the effort on the ground. It's his responsibility that things go smoothly on the Lewa end. But even before they begin, they've been hit with a major delay.
You know, moving rhino, we want to move them into Sera in absolute peak condition. This translocation was meant to happen 6 months ago. Due to the drought, due to the low rainfall, everything that's happened up there, we called that off. They're just such sensitive animals to be moving.
The delays are creating extra pressures. The breeding program at Lewa has been so successful that there are now more of the animals than is healthy for the environment and for the species.
We're oversubscribed with rhino, if you will. We've gone beyond our ecological carrying capacity.
When rhinos don't have enough space, they will fight for territory. Lewa has lost 3 animals this way over the past 2 years. The best thing for everyone will be to get this move underway as quickly as possible. And even when the rains do arrive, the risks will be considerable.
The pressure's on when you start catching an animal like that. Based on the fact that there are so few animals left, every single one is important.
After 6 months of waiting, the rains have finally arrived in the north. And Lewa's massive rhino translocation campaign to the Sera Conservancy can finally proceed.
You know, first day there's going to be, we're all rusty. Things will go wrong, we expect things to break. Although we've checked, double-checked, triple-checked, everything. We'll see.
Lewa is going to relocate 10 rhinos. That means capturing them one by one, carefully sedating them just enough to get them loaded onto special transport crates. Then the rhinos will be driven 4 hours to Sera, where they'll be released into new and unfamiliar territory.
Things can go wrong, and you can guarantee no one day will be the same, and no rhino capture will be similar to the one you did the day before, or the week before, or the year before. And we need to be ready to be able to react when something does go wrong.
In Kenya, all wildlife is owned by the government and is managed by the Kenyan Wildlife Service, or KWS, both inside national parks and outside. They work together in partnership with the conservancies and will lead the capture team and supply the vet team.
Today is a big day. We are very excited. It's a big deal because in Africa, no black rhinos have been taken to a community conservancy.
Oh, okay.
To capture the rhinos, they will use a helicopter piloted by Lewa CEO Mike Watson. Once a rhino is identified, it will be darted with a tranquilizer. That responsibility falls to KWS vet Matthew Mutinda.
The first animal for today has just been located, and now we are rushing on our way to meet the helicopter.
They track down the first rhino. Firing a tranquilizer dart from a moving helicopter at a panicked rhino takes skill. The placement has to be perfect. The dart has to penetrate the rhino's thick hide so that the drug will hit the bloodstream. Matthew takes aim. The drug takes 5 to 10 minutes to take effect. Mike will use the helicopter to herd the rhino to a safe place where the teams can easily get to it.
You see all the elephants panicking, because obviously with the helicopter and that animal going down and things. But it's gone down. Yeah, everybody on this side. Yeah, we'll turn him around a bit. Yeah, he's a big boy.
While Matthew focuses on the welfare of the rhino, Batian gets to work.
Chainsaw?
Rhinos are being hunted to the point of extinction because of their horn. Although trade in rhino horn is illegal, heavily armed poachers are a constant threat. So for the safety of the animals, the horn is being cut off.
Watch it, Pete. Just hang on. Just giving it oxygen at the moment.
The horn is made of keratin, the same substance found in human fingernails. And like with your fingernails, the horn will grow back. The horn is immediately handed off to a government vet who will make sure it is locked away. Now the team will install a radio tracking device into the stump.
You know, we've got two types of transmitters that we're putting in these animals. The first one, and we try and put that in the back horn, is a VHF transmitter.
It's crucially important that the rangers at Serra be able to find and track the movements of each rhino. Because of the threat from poachers, this rhino being moved to the Serra Conservancy will need to be visually spotted every 3 days to ensure they are safe. The microchip means there are 2 tracking devices on the rhino.
They come on twice a day, once in the morning and once in the evening. Matthew, syringe? The microchip, so it's just giving its own unique identity. No different to microchipping your dog. Can I have a syringe? You know, this is dental acrylic, no different to what they make your mother-in-law's false teeth out of. It doesn't inhibit horn growth at all. If anything, it's a lot harder than horn. Yeah, in about 5 minutes' time, it will be absolutely solid. It goes like concrete.
The devices are installed quickly. They don't want to keep the rhino sedated for longer than necessary.
Okay, 1 minute.
We need to get this head over now.
With the transmitter installed, the focus shifts to the actual move. The problem is, it's not easy to move an unconscious rhino that weighs about the same as a mid-sized car.
1, 2, 3, 20! 1, 2, 3, 20! 1, 2, 3, 20! 20!
So they'll wake it up and push it into the crate.
You know, there's rough edges from having taken it off with the chainsaw, and we want that horn to grow back in a natural shape. He can come up now. Everybody out now. Space, space, space.
Oh, Danny!
Okay, cool.
Usuri Mardani. Ehe. Bas. Kauro.
Hivi. Madenge.
It's a female, 5.3 years old. She has got just about 1.5 years to go before she starts breeding.
We're going to see this population grow. We're bringing back rhinos where they were before, and it's an awesome feeling.
Good for the first one. It was good. It's just so many people, but it's so exciting for everybody. It's good. Yeah, no, it was good. Couldn't go better.
The first animal to go to Sarah was black rhino community conservancy.
The drive to the rhino's new home will take 4 hours. But for now, she will be waiting until they capture a second animal to accompany her.
So we're just waiting at the next lorry, then we go to the second one, and then they will start now moving to Sarah.
Rhinos need to be moved when it's cool in the early morning and late afternoon, so they will have a maximum 2 per day.
There's a lot of small things that can go wrong in wildlife immobilizations in the wild. My main concern is the safety of the animal.
There is a very real possibility that at some point, something will go wrong.
For a big old beast that looks prehistoric, they're amazingly fragile. They're delicate. It's gone amazingly well up to now, but it's just maintaining that standard.
Five hours into their ambitious rhino translocation project at Lewa Conservancy, and the team is off to a good start. They are moving 10 rhinos from Lewa to Sarah Conservancy, a 4-hour drive to the north. It's a major coordinated operation involving Conservancy wildlife experts and the Kenyan government. The plan is to capture and move 2 rhino a day.
Very good, very good. Went on very well. Mtungi wanaume. Okay, oxygen.
The second animal is located and darted safely. And again, they'll remove the horn and install a radio transmitter.
What's that?
Transmitter 2, but the number is 22. Yeah, head up. Okay, guys, pitisha just tarisha.
Batian, at your own time. Sawa. Animals are like people, they all behave very differently. This guy is a little bit more lively and you can hear some dance in the creek. And the other guy is nice and calm and settled.
And then we need one person on the back of each lorry.
With the rhino safely on board, the truck departs. They have a 4-hour drive ahead of them to their new home at the Sarah Conservancy. The first day of the operation has been textbook perfect. Tomorrow, Batian and his team will head to a new location to capture 2 more rhino. Day 2's operation will move to the Lake Nakuru National Park, several hours' drive west of Lewa.
You know, we're bringing animals into Sarah from 3 different areas for genetic diversity. Next step is to move animals from Nakuru in. So we're going to concentrate on Nakuru today, do 2 animals from there, and then kick off with Lewa again tomorrow. Give the Lewa team a break. It's gone incredibly well.
Lake Nakuru is one of many national parks in Kenya, with significant rhino numbers and the need to move animals out. Because of the demands of providing security, there are not many places that can take the rhino. So the move to Sarah opens up many new possibilities. With the capture team still busy on Lewa, a second KWS team is preparing for another busy day. First order of business, scanning the terrain from the chopper to find a suitable candidate. After an extensive search, a suitable candidate is found. This rhino is not happy to find itself in the moving crate. The confinement puts stress on the animal, stress that could be compounded when it's transferred to its new home at the Sarah Conservancy.
My greatest concern is their ability to adapt and breed well in a new environment.
The rhino is clearly in distress. In fact, translocating the rhino is potentially dangerous to the animal. But the risk to the individual is outweighed by the risk benefits for the entire species.
We have decided that there is opportunity for growing the black rhino population for taking it to Sarah Wildlife Conservancy. And this opportunity comes in the good browse diet, in the water available, in the enhanced security at Sarah. So the big opportunity to grow species numbers at Sarah Wildlife Conservancy.
The operation continues to go smoothly. 4 rhino are now on their way to the Sarah Conservancy. Their goal is to move 10 rhino. So with half the spots filled, the team will now be very specific about selecting the remaining animals to make sure there is a balanced population.
We really want to get the right animals to move, because we moved some quite young females to Sarah. We do want to move some adult females now.
But today, on the 3rd day of the operation, there are problems. The combination of darts, wind, and animal are not cooperating. They can't get a tranquilizer dart into the rhino.
Darting from the ground, it is difficult. It becomes even more difficult now when you have to do it from an helicopter. The animal is moving, the helicopter is moving, and your dart is a light object. But with training, with experience, you can overcome all this.
After a frustrating start. Success. But now they have a new problem.
Ina detach on impact.
They realize the rhino is injured.
I think let's sample the guy.
She's got a limp on his back left foot. You can see it's all swollen in here. No, she's the wrong animal to move. 1, she's going to be slip and slide around in the box. 2, she's just not the right animal to be moved into Sarah.
Once we found that it's injured, we cannot take it. We just sample it and release it back.
The darting is not a complete loss. They will still collect DNA and other data to help them with the overall program. it also gives them an opportunity to study a unique phenomenon.
I've always been intrigued by filaria, the filaria worm. Which causes wounds on black rhinos for a long time. So we would want to have to commission a small study to try and understand them and identify these worms.
The female is released safely.
The sun is starting to get very hot, and now we're just wondering, would we have enough time to do the 2 animals?
While the crew on Lewa struggles, the KWS Nakuru team is able to catch 2 more. At Lewa Conservancy, it's another win for the team.
Skuma. Wachilia. Lenga. Wachilia kamba. Yeah, this has gone amazingly well, this one. And she's the ideal animal. We were looking for a big adult female to go to Sarah. She's about a 12-year-old.
Oh, okay.
Everybody's getting tired, everybody's sort of slightly on edge. It's always the case, and we've done enough captures to see the edge sort of get slightly frilly on the last days. It can go wrong so quickly, and it's so unpredictable.
With just 2 animals left to capture, the final pair have to be carefully chosen. The capture teams at Lewa Conservancy are close to the end of a project to capture and translocate 10 endangered rhino to the new Sarah Conservancy. Things have been going exceptionally well for a logistically difficult operation. They're down to their last 2 animals. If they can complete the capture today, they will finish a day early. It's demanding physical and mental work, and the teams are getting tired. At this point, they aren't just grabbing any 2 rhinos.
Lewa's got 70 animals. Finding the right candidates to move to Sarah is a challenge. You know, we don't want to be moving heavily pregnant females, and we need to put in a decent mix of males. Now that we've already moved 8 out of Lewa, we need to kind of play with that mix a little bit more.
Rangers have been out since early morning searching for candidates. Even though they know the general location of each animal, it's still like finding a needle in a haystack. Rhinos will sleep and browse in dense bush. Rangers find what they're looking for. And the darting team swings into action. Right from the start, this rhino is challenging. The rhino is aggressive and wants nothing to do with the chopper. At this speed, getting a clean shot at the rhino is tough. The wind becomes a factor. This is where Matthew's years of experience comes in handy. He times his shot perfectly. The rhino is agitated and keeps running. It's headed for a gully. The situation is about to become critical. A fall could be catastrophic, so pilot Mike Watson maneuvers the chopper to cut it off. The rhino crashes into the gully, a place where the capture truck won't be able to access to load the rhino.
You know, it's incredible. When these animals get their drug, they literally follow the terrain, and being on a place like Lewa, they manage to find luggers, dams, water, anything you don't want them to go near, they head direct for.
rhino is in a precarious position. If its airway is obstructed, it could die.
Let's go there.
He makes the quick decision to revive the animal.
Did you give the antidote already? Yeah, yeah. Okay, be ready to run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Umefungua tayari?
Yeah, nimeamsha. Ameamka. Guza tena, guza tena. We are saving a species. So every time we see an Hirola of risk, we manage that risk proactively.
You seen him going up there?
Wow, beautiful. I'm happy to see him walk after the experience we just had. Yeah?
Once the operation is aborted, they won't try to recapture the animal for at least a year. The stress is too great. And then another snag.
It's typical of last day, isn't it? That everything's gone slightly wrong. Not wrong, that animal went down in the wrong place, and that was the right decision by Matthew to let it go, because we come back and catch him another day. And then now the lorry's got a puncture. But it's fine. They're changing the tyre now, and then we'll get an extra spare sent over.
While Matthew was averting a disaster, the KWS team caught another rhino in Nakuru. With the rhino safely on board, the truck departs.
You know, we're struggling to find candidates, so we're going to fly and look for the last animal that we need.
But things are about to get worse, and everyone's greatest fear is about to be realized.
What?
20.
What's going on here?
They do everything they can, but the animal has stopped breathing and can't be revived.
We lose an animal, it's horrendous. We're not there to kill animals. We're not there to see animals be lost. You know, there's things way beyond our control that we can't, and it's sad. But we're here, we're on the ground, we're doing it, and we realize there's a risk. There's no blame, and we're in this game and we're doing this thing for the right reason.
Makes you feel very dejected, and you try to look for reasons as to why.
Darting an animal is very risky, so many variables can go wrong. An autopsy determined that the animals had been eating at the time of the capture. During the flight, it choked on its food. Now the capture team from Lewa need to regroup. They require one more rhino to move to the Sarah Conservancy and complete their mission. But the next animal brings its own challenge.
I spent next to a lager, so we are down in the bottom of a lager. But it's first, we'll be able to put the log in there and get him out.
With the animal on a downward slope, extracting it will require extreme caution. In this position, the rhino's weight could cut off its breathing and the animal could suffocate to death. The crew works as quickly as possible.
9 milli. 1, 2, 3, go! 1, 2, 3, go!
This time, the animal makes it safely into the crate. The convoy heads north. Beyond the town of Hirola and into the wilderness. It's a 4-hour road trip to its new home at the Serra Community Conservancy.
This is the home place some years ago. And the animal coming back to their origin. We are very actually grateful to have the animals today.
Each new animal that arrives at Serra receives a special greeting from local elders.
I suppose the most exciting thing is probably for those communities that are going to be there that open that box for the first rhino to run into Serra.
Until the animal exits and is clearly safe in its new home, it's a nerve-wracking experience. And then it's time.
For them to be in Serra, I think it will be a new home, a bigger home, and I hope that they make more babies so that we can try and make that possible, everything possible. These boys have fathered some of the babies in Lewa Wildlife Conservancy, and seeing them here is like giving off some boys off to go and start a new home. It's moving for me, but it's good.
Not all the rhino are anxious to leave their containers. It receives a little gentle encouragement. And with that, the campaign comes to an end.
It was all good. Good capture in the morning, good release. All animals looking quite healthy even at the time of release.
A week later, for Lewa founder Ian Craig, who dreamed of seeing rhino back in northern Kenya, it's an emotional experience.
It's been a hard job. It's been testing, really physically testing, mentally testing, because you're going through these highs and lows of dealing with a really precious animal.
Those radio transmitters that were installed allow them to know exactly where each of the animals are. This is the payoff. The rangers at Sarah can now find all 10 of the new rhino with ease.
I can die now. They're the black rhino, northern Kenya. Yeah, you don't get better. Feeding away is fantastic. It's just going down the riverbed there.
But there's much more work to do. If this rhino relocation proves successful, more rhinos will come to Sarah, hopefully inspiring other communities to do the same.
You know, deep down I hope putting rhino and moving wildlife into areas like that where communities have coexisted with wildlife, that's probably the future.
Their numbers are slowly increasing because of the commitment and passion of people like Ian Craig, the Northern Rangelands Trust, KWS, and conservation groups who put their lives on the line to guard them.
You know, you build up something so massive and all these little pieces, and you know, from money to politics to everything that's going on, and then suddenly it happens. You know, that's where I am now. It's just suddenly happened and it's now settling in, and you know, I go to bed every night thinking, crap, over by that hill there's rhino. And you know, there haven't been rhino there for 30 years. And so it's just a very warm feeling.
Batty and Craig heads to one of the most dangerous places in Kenya for the biggest wildlife operation of his life.
You know, as captures go, this is massive. Everything's being flown in by 2 helicopters, aircraft, people.
Airborne teams will attempt to capture and relocate an important and rare species of antelope. But when deadly predators are found inside the new enclosure, it's a scramble to save the operation. Batian's courage is put to the test when he comes face to face with one of Africa's big cats. It's just another busy week in the life of a Kenyan game reserve. wildlife expert Batty and Craig, along with a small capture team from the Old Pejeta Conservancy, are in a remote part of northern Kenya. They are joining an important and potentially dangerous operation to capture a unique and extremely rare species of antelope called a Hirola. Poaching has sent Hirola numbers into a downward spiral. To save the species, a plan has been hatched. 50 Hirola, mostly female, will be captured and put into a predator-free sanctuary for a breeding program. Normally, capturing antelopes is straightforward, but the Hirola live in an isolated habitat on the Kenya-Somali border. Somalia is a country without a government. It has been locked in a brutal civil war for 20 years that has now spilled into Kenya. If that were not challenging enough, there are few roads there, and the capture will have to be done entirely by helicopter, an expensive proposition.
You know, as captures go, this is massive. Everything's being flown in by 2 helicopters, aircraft, people, out of an area that there's not a road, there's not a person, there's just no human presence at all. It's pretty unique.
That's not the worst of it. The area has been infiltrated by Al-Shabaab, a terrorist organization linked to a rash of kidnappings of Europeans in the area. Every day spent on the operation increases the chances that the members of the capture team and their helicopters will become targets.
You know, Europeans have been targeted. There are a few of us down here on this capture. It's not going to change anything. We've just got to be slightly cautious. Kidnappings have been an issue with Somalia. But to be honest, it's in the back of our minds, and we've got a job to do with the capture.
The Hirola project is a partnership between the NRT, the Northern Range Land Trust, and the local Ishakbeen community. The Hirola are a source of great pride to the community, and they will run the new sanctuary with the support of the NRT. The actual capture operation will be carried out by a coalition of wildlife groups, including Old Pejeta and Lewa Conservancies, and the Kenya Wildlife Service. Heading the project on the ground is NRT zoologist Dr. Juliet King.
Hirola is the most endangered antelope in the world, in fact. It's a large antelope, about the size of a hartebeest. Originally, they thought it was of the hartebeest family, but in fact, it's its own genus, and it's a lineage that diverted from the hartebeest many, many millions of years ago. We estimate there are only about 460 Hirola left, and they only exist between the Tana River in Kenya, stretching up towards and into Somalia. NRT is an umbrella organization for community conservancies in northern Kenya. And our role is really developing the capacity of the conservancies for management of wildlife on their land. And it's an integrated approach of wildlife and livestock and coexistence of wildlife and livestock on that land.
First order of business. Juliet oversees the completion of the sanctuary fence that is being built by the Ishakbeen community. In total, they will fence in an area of 4,000 acres, roughly 4 times the size of New York's Central Park.
We've got 20 casual workers who are digging a trench to bury the netting of the fence about a foot down. And this is to basically prevent any predators from digging under the fence, particularly hyenas, which, as we're aware, are a big problem here. We've got a lot of them. These guys have been working for about 4 months now on this fence. So basically the aim today is to finish and leave a gap of only about 100 meters, which we will leave open to push some Hirola in with the helicopter tomorrow. And then we'll finish by closing the fence completely.
Okay, which are you up for?
Batian will head the capture team along with senior KWS vet Isaac Lekalol. But on this first day, he helps with the building of temporary holding pens.
This is 2 holding pens that will be a pre-release boma. Animals obviously caught out in the field, brought here, put in this for 12 to 24 hours max. You know, they're obviously going to be drugged, so we'll watch them here for a certain period of time, make sure they're 100% when we're all in agreement that they're good to go. We open up half the pen and let them out.
With the fence and holding pens complete, the first part of the capture operation can begin. They'll be herding Hirola from the air. NRT pilot Peter Lempatu is up in the air in a small Super Cub airplane. Throughout the capture, his job will be to remain airborne and to look for groups of animals to be captured. He'll then direct the helicopter where to find them. The plan is to take advantage of their close proximity to the new sanctuary and push them through a gap that has been left in the fence. The more animals they are able to round up in this chase will take pressure off later, when each Hirola will need to be loaded inside the helicopter and transported to the sanctuary.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, let me come to the gap and then walk my way away from the gap.
Yeah, that's the best. We want to start closest to the gap. Just speaking to Peter, he's up looking for the animals he found this morning. As soon as he's found enough, we'll call the chopper and start pushing.
Mike Watson, CEO of Lewa Conservancy, is piloting the helicopter. He does a quick flyover to make sure all signs of human presence is gone. Even a whiff of human scent can cause the Hirola to turn away from the trap. Mike has years of experience flying capture operations, but like most of this team, he has never worked with Hirola before, so he is not sure what to expect. He begins to push a small group, which for the most part respond exactly the way he wants them to. He herds them towards the gap in the fence. Animals are territorial, and they don't like to be pushed beyond their boundaries, but the noise and size of the helicopter is enough to get them running. As they get closer to the opening in the fence, Mike has to be more aggressive to keep driving them forward. So far, this is going well. But at the fence, they turn abruptly. They don't want to go through. Mike makes a quick maneuver to block their exit. He gets them headed back in the right direction. The group goes through. They have 13 females and 5 males, a terrific start. With enough males now in the sanctuary, they will strictly focus on females. Wildlife expert Batian Craig is in northern Kenya, where he is part of a massive operation. A coalition of wildlife groups is capturing Hirola, a critically endangered antelope. The plan is to capture approximately 50 animals, mostly female, and relocate them into a predator-free fenced sanctuary. Conservationists hope that in a protected space, they will breed and rebuild their numbers, saving them from extinction. It's a strategy that is working with a number of endangered species, but this particular operation is massive, expensive, and dangerous. Day 2 of the airborne operation begins. The capture site is near the Somali border, where Kenya has been fighting a war with Al-Shabaab, a militant group responsible for terrorist attacks and the kidnapping and killing of Europeans in Kenya. Because of the security risk, the team will limit their time capturing in any one place. To do this, they will need to set up, tear down, and relocate the trap each day. It's a logistical nightmare because everything from the traps to the personnel have to be moved by helicopter, and there are just 2 for the entire operation. To limit the travel distance, the team will use a secure forward base to stockpile equipment and fuel for the helicopter.
We're now going to head, we need some guys on the ground and at the site. So this is first load, so when the choppers start ferrying all the kit in, we've got people on the ground to offload.
The front lines in the fighting between Kenya and Somalia is about 25 kilometers to the north. but no one can say with any certainty where an attack could come from. So as a precaution, armed teams travel with them. Pilot Mike Watson returns from dropping the first team. Now, he and KWS pilot, Major Koak, will begin ferrying the many loads of heavy equipment. At the capture site, equipment is offloaded. Batian and senior KWS vet Isaac Lekalal get busy setting up. A capture trap is massive. Several hundred meters of nets are set up in the shape of a large fishbowl. The helicopter drives the animals into the fishbowl, where they get tangled in the nets.
These nets are the sort of belly of the trap at the moment. You will catch some in here, but most of them will put drop nets within. Those will be where most of them, you know, they run into this sort of wall and try and turn. On their way back out is when they get caught on the inside of the drop nets.
Everything is set and ready to go, but the operation hits a major snag. A game scout has caught a brief glimpse of something trying to make a kill inside the sanctuary, but was unable to identify it through the thick bush. One of the biggest threats to the survival of the few remaining Hirola are natural predators.
They're arguing over whether it's a cheetah or a leopard track, and explaining that a cheetah track in soft sand, the claws for the cheetah won't show because they go too deep. So I think we're going to follow the tracks and see who's right. And if you're wrong...
It's not a small problem. A single cheetah or leopard could wreak havoc on the breeding program. As they walk, they begin to smell a kill.
We're all following our noses now to try and locate the smell and see if we can find what animal has been killed and what's killed it.
Soon, they find what they are looking for.
It's a dik-dik, but it hasn't really been eaten. It's eaten a little bit.
The results are inconclusive, but if it were a big cat, this would have dire consequences for the project. Now a new plan is hatched. Rangers will step up patrols and capture cages have been brought out. When the predator is found, every resource will be allocated to remove it. With Juliet and her team looking for cheetah or leopard, and Batian and Isaac finishing the trap, KWS vet Matthew Matinda takes advantage of the lull to collar an elephant. The story of the elephants in this area of Kenya is one of decline. Heavy poaching in the 1980s by Somali rebels decimated the elephant population. With the renewed conflict on the Somali border, once again poaching is an active threat. The Kenyan Wildlife Service wants to put a radio collar on one of the remaining elephants in the area to track its movements.
But if there are 3, we knock one down. The 2 we can chase to a good area. Then when this is down and we are comfortable, we go, we wake it up, get right to the chopper, get out.
Matthew has chosen a large bull elephant. He will dart it from the helicopter with a powerful tranquilizer. Once it is down, they'll be dropped off to put on the collar. The elephant is found in a forested area next to the Tana River. With the helicopter doing the herding, it's quickly separated from the others and pushed to an open area. Matthew takes aim. He darts the elephant on his first try. Now they pull back and wait for the drug to take effect. Major Koak is new to capture work and the KWS. He's an experienced military pilot who has flown several tours of duty in Bosnia for the United Nations, and his combat flying skills will come in handy. Capture work requires quick thinking and a steady hand under extreme conditions. The elephant has gone down in an awkward position. The way it's sitting, the elephant's enormous weight makes it difficult for the animal to breathe. Matthew and his assistant attempt to roll the animal onto its side. But the groggy elephant is too heavy. Matthew decides to go ahead and put on the collar. The pair work fast, and they attach the collar. Matthew gets the antidote to the tranquilizer. He'll administer it, and then the pair will sprint to the chopper and get back in the air. There's no time for dawdling. If the elephant wakes too soon, it will charge the chopper and crew. With the job done, they head back to join the Hirola capture. Back at the capture site, Batian's team is close to finishing the setup of the capture nets. He and Isaac go over the final plans. Mike takes to the sky. He's scouting for Hirola to steer towards the nets.
So this is our first actual drive into the nets, you know. For all of us, it's only two of us, or two people that have seen Hirola being caught in nets. So a bit of an eye-opener. We've got 3 on the way now. Obviously the nets are set up, and this is just a complete test to see how the whole system works. You know, keep it down to a few to begin with. Don't want to be greedy at this stage.
Mike begins to push a small group of Hirola. They head straight towards the nets. Batian takes care not to get impaled on the animal's horns.
All males, eh?
The nets were a success, but unfortunately, all the animals in this group are male. At this point, they only need females, so these will be let go.
Try again tomorrow, but what is clear is these big herds are mainly males, and we've got to find the herds that have got calves with them to guarantee that they're females.
Day 2 finishes with mixed results. They now know the nets worked for the Hirola capture, but they'll have to refine their search to capture females. Wildlife expert Batian Craig and a team from the Old Pejeta Conservancy are in northern Kenya, taking part in a massive animal capture on the Somali border. The focus is a rare antelope species called the Hirola. Poaching and natural predators have put the Hirola on the critically endangered list. Now the plan is to capture 50 animals, mostly female, and relocate them to a large 4,000-acre predator-free enclosure and start a breeding program. This is a crucial step at a crucial time for the species. But just 2 days in, the operation has had a major setback. Animal tracks, possibly cheetah, were found inside the sanctuary enclosure. The presence of just a single predator is enough to shut down the entire operation, meaning the considerable investment of time and money would be lost, and the Hirola would remain vulnerable. Day 3 starts with more bad news. It's not 1, but 2 cheetahs prowling the sanctuary. So for today, the plan to capture Hirola is put on hold. The focus turns to this new threat. Batian and KWS vet Isaac Lekalal head up in a chopper flown by veteran wildlife pilot Mike Watson. The plan? They'll search out the cheetahs, dart them, and release them outside the fenced sanctuary.
There's one on our nose. Okay, there's one here as well. There's two together. Let's just keep chasing them a bit. So they get shot down. Okay, you can calm down, Julia. We got two. There's one now.
Spooked by the noise of the helicopter, the cheetahs take flight. They're so fast that even from the air, it's hard to keep them both in sight. They've lost the first cat in the underbrush. The need to use the helicopters to find these predators is putting stress on the Hirola capture. The choppers are expensive tools, and any time away from the capture is time and money that can't be recovered. Juliet and her trackers come in to search from the ground.
Where's the other one? Where's the other one? Where's the other one? I've got one in front of us. Where's the other one?
The second cheetah bolts in a different direction, and Mike needs to make a quick decision. Stay and find the first one, or follow number two.
Can you see it? Oh, it's up in a tree. Get a dart in it. Hang on, I'll come down low.
Isaac takes his shot. The dart misses, and the cheetah runs.
Yeah, got it back in. Yeah, I've got it. Okay. Can you keep an eye on my fuel as well, because I know I'm getting low. 29. A minute? 29 minutes. Hey, can you put another dart in, Isaac? You got another dart ready?
He preps another dart. Luckily, the cheetah hasn't gone far. It's climbed a tree, which makes it an easier target.
Just let me get right down for you. Right down. Right down. A bit more. Wait. Wait. That's it. Dart in.
The second dart hits its mark, and the cheetah starts to run. But there's another problem. Mike is running out of fuel.
I wonder if we can get it out of this tree before it falls out of the tree. It's not a big tree. It's not that big. Okay, you've got 23 minutes. There we are. Okay, let's try and find somewhere to land before we run out of fuel.
He decides to follow, even though his fuel situation is becoming critical.
Oh, it's good now. Running. It's running. Okay.
They have lost the ground team, and unless Mike continues to follow the cheetah, they will lose it.
He's still running? Yeah. No. Stop.
Luckily, the cheetah slows.
Even if we get one on the ground with an airband. Oh, yeah. Have you got an airband? Yeah, I've got an airband. Okay, well, you get ready and I'll see if I can... That spot there. This here. No, just in front of us, because that's where it's going. Okay. Just in there, you might need to sort of climb down off the skid. Yeah, I'll take my seatbelt off. Make sure my tail rotor is clear, please. Okay, you're fine. You're fine. You're fine. Go forward a little bit. Forward a little bit. Bring your tail to the right a little bit. My right. Your right a little bit. Okay, now unplug the headset. Unplug the headset. Yep.
There's no place to set the chopper down. The best that Mike can do is to get within 15 feet of the ground. Batian jumps. He will use his shirt as a blindfold for the cheetah. The cheetah is drugged, but still alert. Batian approaches it with caution. With its eyes covered, it begins to calm down.
You know, obviously putting these Hirola in, and the biggest threat to the Hirola are the predators. And there's been 2 cheetah in here. And we've just literally been waiting for an opportunity, if they get seen, to try and dart them. Luckily, we managed to get one. There's one less cheetah in here, and hopefully save one more Hirola. And they've been darted and gone down in horrendous bush to the point that we couldn't get in here. We obviously had to jump in from from the chopper, but we'll just let this drug take a little bit more effect and then we'll try and carry it out of here. It sounds like it's about a K to the road.
As the team prepares the cheetah, the vehicle with veterinarian Matthew Matinda arrives. They're taking the cheetah outside the sanctuary gates. They'll release it and reverse the drug. But they realize they have another major problem. Normally, Matthew would top up the drug and keep the cheetah under sedation. But the tranquilizer is with Isaac in the helicopter. They have less than 15 minutes to get to the gates before the drug wears off, and they have a fully awake cheetah in the car. The gate is several kilometers away. They'll be cutting it close. They soon realize that they have another problem. They're completely lost. Even for these veterans, in a featureless environment, it's tough to keep your bearings. Batian has no choice. He has to call in a plane to guide them out.
Right, deal.
It's now a race to get outside the gates before the cheetah wakes up in the car. The plane will guide them the rest of the way. Everyone is relieved when they reach the gate. They quickly remove the cheetah.
We don't want to keep him any longer down. So I give him a jab, we make him come around, and we let him go.
We'll do Hirola.
Yeah.
You stay here. Pengine moja yako shuka, si ndio? Unaja na watu yote.
The drug wears off, and the cheetah wobbles to its feet, safely outside the sanctuary, and with Batian's shirt as a souvenir. Batian Craig and his team from Old Pejeta are in northern Kenya. They are working with the Northern Rangeland Trust in the capture of a rare, critically endangered species of antelope called a Hirola. The plan is to move them into a predator-free sanctuary to start a breeding program to boost their numbers. But the entire plan came to a halt when a game scout found 2 cheetahs inside the sanctuary, a threat that could stop the entire operation. Using a helicopter, Batian and a KWS vet were able to tranquilize and remove one of the cats. With one out of the way, the helicopter is back up searching for the second cheetah. They locate the second cheetah, but there's an unwelcome surprise. She has 4 large cubs with her. What was once critical could now be a catastrophe.
There they are, they're going into that water. See the water there? Yeah, they are bloody hell. Tell them open the gate. Open the gate and we'll see if we can go that way.
Can they open the gate? Can they open the gate? Obviously you've got to see if we can drive them. Please ask them to open the gate.
That's going to cause havoc, this is. What, herding cats?
It's a high-stakes moment. Batian makes a quick call.
That is the mother. We stick with the mother. I know that's mean, but it's probably the best bet.
They'll separate the mom from her litter and remove the cheetahs one by one.
It's easier when they're out in this open. Yeah. Running around in circles. And And let's ask Matthew to make up a whole bunch of darts.
Matthew can make up a whole bunch of darts, please.
Down below us there. You got it, Isaac? Oh, yeah, right below. Oh. Wait. I just want to try and keep her out of this open stuff for you, Isaac. Okay, that's the fence on our nose, huh? Right. Hang on, mate, I'm looking at this. Wait. She's still got some buffalo. Just run her until she's absolutely fucked up. Then I think come around and see if we can get her up against the fence, as Badger was saying. This wind is quite a bastard and I can't. Nice and slowly, I'll get you an angle in a minute. I'll just try and push her up against this. Watch my tail, please. Yeah, you fine? Now that I'm going to be going backwards probably, there you go. Yeah, you fine?
The exhausted cheetah has nowhere to run.
Watch my tail.
Isaac gets a dart into her.
Okay, if we can get the vehicle here, please.
He's just preparing. Just told those guys if the vehicle will come fast ahead, because there were two vehicles, and then the other one can wait for Mutina.
Perfect, on that.
Yes, it has. It definitely has. Definitely. If you land here, we can just grab her and put her over.
This is a hands-on job. The cheetah is drugged, but just how drugged is a question mark. They approach with caution. When the cheetah tries to run, it's clear the drug is working.
Daktari iko wapi? Let's put it over, shall we? Over and into the shade. 1, 2, 3. Shingo. Here.
That's fascinating. Yes, there's 5 cheetah.
No way. Yeah, that line. Eco. Right, we better...
The mother is out of the sanctuary. Now it's back to get the cubs, one at a time. A cub will always return to the last place it was together with its mother.
There, we can bring them this onto the fence. Yeah. In that sandy area, just on the edge of that sandy area. If you can see Juliet, they're 100 meters ahead of Juliet to the south. Yeah.
A cub is separated from the rest. Like the mother, they run it towards the fence to tire it out.
Hey, wait. Knackered them. They could almost pick this thing up. Have we got a dart in? No. The thing's finished.
Batian volunteers to experiment with a new method, catching the tired cheetah by hand and without sedation. Mike heads back up. From the air, he'll be able to follow it easier as it runs. Drugging the cats while this exhausted can be dangerous for them, but it's risky for Batian. Even a small cheetah like this one can seriously maul a human. He pulls the cheetah by its tail, Batian grabs it by the scruff of the neck and runs for the fence. Once on the other side, it should be able to find its mother. 1 down, 3 to go.
You see the Batian? Okay, I got it. Okay, pull me down. Okay, face down now, you're fine, but...
They quickly run the cheetah. As before, Batian goes after it on foot. It hides in the thorn bushes, but the helicopter locates it from above. Batian grabs the second cub. This time, they're too far away from the fence. They'll have to take it on board the helicopter. The trip outside the fence takes only a minute. Batian leaves the cub and heads back out to get the others. It's been an eventful few days for wildlife expert Batian Craig. He's in northern Kenya working with the Northern Range Land Trust on an operation to save a critically endangered species of antelope called a Hirola. They're capturing 50 animals and relocating them to a fenced and protected sanctuary to start a breeding program. But the entire operation ground to a halt when 6 wild cheetahs were found inside the sanctuary. It's taken several days to locate and remove the predators. Now, with time running out, everyone is again ready to capture Hirola. They have already captured 18 and need 32 more. The capture nets have been set up. Now, helicopter pilot Mike Watson drops Batian and a few rangers at the net. Then he'll head straight back up to locate and begin pushing the animals to the trap. Batian and the others get into position on the ground. Mike is pushing a small group. The Hirola enter the funnel. They hit the back of the nets and become entangled. It's a great start. Most of the Hirola are female.
Yeah, that was a bit better. We got 3 females and a big man. Siko na tatu. Ine, siko na ine. Yeah.
Very nice.
The Hirola will be transported to the sanctuary by helicopter.
Yeah, unatulia sana. You just strap in their legs. And obviously, putting them into the chopper, we need to Take every precaution there is.
The animals are given a sedative for their flights. Rubber garden hose is attached to their sharp horns. The lone male is not needed, so he is released. Each animal has been bagged so they can easily be carried to the choppers. 2 animals will go in Mike's helicopter and 1 in the KWS chopper.
Obviously the heat is unreal. They're a hell of a lot heavier than we sort of thought. But yeah, they seem good now. They obviously had quite a long run.
The Hirola are taken off the helicopters with the help of members of the Ishak-Bean community, who will be running the sanctuary. While they're still drugged, the Hirola will be tagged, measured, and blood samples will be taken. But to minimize further stress on the animals, the vets are restricted to 3 minutes. The last Hirola is offloaded. Finally, they are taken into the holding pens where they'll be untied and woken up.
Have you done it, Omar? Yeah.
1, 2, 3. 20.
Batian helps rate the animals, so they will be able to stand once they come around. The first one comes to. Batian grabs hold of it so Matthew can finish with the last animal. These animals will spend the night here so that the vets can monitor them and make sure they're doing well before being let out into the larger sanctuary.
That is a success. Yeah, no, we're getting there.
It's day 7, and the capture continues to go smoothly. Push after push, Mike is able to drive groups into the trap. By late afternoon, they have nearly met their objective of 50 animals. Once the operation finishes, Batian, Mike, and the capture team will head home. It will be left to the community to run the project, helped by the Northern Range Land Trust. In a world where space for wildlife is diminishing, it will be up to partnerships like these to ensure that key animals like the Hirola are protected. But before anyone heads home, there are still 4 more animals to capture. Mike is pushing a large group towards the nets. If they get them all in, they will have met their target number of 50 animals. They'll also have time to attach GPS collars to the remaining Hirola and set them free. It's another success. The entire group gets entangled. Mike looks for a place to set the chopper down. They quickly load the first 2 animals for Major Kowak to take back.
1, 2, 3, turn it. Hold it down and we'll bring a female to release with it.
Batian attaches tracking collars to the remaining animals. This will be the first time that the range of the Hirola will be charted. It's important information for the researchers and conservationists, and will help them come up with a long-term plan for the Hirola. The animal and its calf are carried out and away from the nets. They are released at the same time to ensure the calf stays with its mother.
One was lactating, so that was obviously her baby.
The capture team brings the final animal on board. The first phase of the Hirola operation has been a success. This is the capture work that Batian loves. He has left his full-time position at Old Pejeta and now consults on captures like this one and on rhino security for several conservancies, including Old Pej and Lewa.